Now, again, can you see that if you don't know history, you don't know anything, but you think you do. Now, this is what happens, you see. If knowledge is passed on from generation to generation, knowledge is passed on to the next generation has a starting point that's further ahead than the previous generation. Does that make sense?
Sure.
So you can then pass on information to the next generation, and next generation has a starting point even further ahead. If you don't have any history, everyone starts at the beginning, the next generation starts at the beginning, the next generation starts at the beginning, the next generation starts
always getting a ladder up or a foot up if they don't know the history.
Right, but if you don't know, there's no leg up, there's no ladder up. You're always starting from the beginning. So you see what happens then is that in some communities, there will be young men inheriting property and inheriting business. In our community, nobody's inheriting property and no one's inheriting business. So you have to start from the beginning. Now, when it comes to the building of wealth, building of wealth is a transgenerational thing.
It's a legacy thing.
Right, so consequently, when people talk about, the Rothschild dynasty as, we talked about Mansa Musolini, the richest.
Yeah.
The Daily Express says that the Rothschild dynasty is the second. How they were able to do it is they started in the 18th century, and a man had a vision for his 5 sons, and then they built something and passed that down to the next generation, who built something and passed that down.
A baton.
Right, so consequently, where the dynasties are at right now isn't just what they were doing in 2016. It's what they were doing a generation before 2016, a generation before that, all the way back to the 18th century. So you don't have any history, you don't have any tradition. Everyone is starting from the 18th century over and over and over and over again. You can't build nothing like that. You have to look at it from the point of view, again, what did the adults achieve? You see, there's 2 ways you can instill information in the next generation. You can tell them, I want you to do well, or I can pass down a business. Now, can you see passing down a business that's real?
So you mean giving them something tangible and like instructions to inherit, a mandate, a way of going about doing this thing?
But what happens in our community is everyone is just talking about you need to do well. We're not passing nothing down. So consequently, when we tell the young people we want you to do well, what we're really doing is saying, well, sorry we didn't pass anything down to you, but we still want you to do well. This is why I say the adults have to fix up. The adults have to be about big people things. And big people things is property and business. If you're not about those things, say nothing to the young people. Because unless you build that, you've got nothing to pass down.